Chef Alex, and welcome back to our home. So today, I thought I'd show you some, just a couple of spices that I have lying around in the cupboard, so that you could see more or less, what you should be having in your pantry. Okay. So when it comes to spices and herbs and stuff like that, the more you have, the better. I'm not going to say only get, what you're used to. Continue to try variations of this stuff, because you're going to find that several kinds of varieties are absolutely phenomenal, not just one. So don't think that when I say put equal parts of, this, and this, and that's your seasoning, that's the only seasoning. That's not the only seasoning. As a matter of fact, that's why I have all this out here for you. Okay, so this is just, like I said, this is some of the herbs and spices that I have in my pantry. Okay, I figured I'd show them to you so that you have an idea what you should have. Okay, now we are 2 people in my house, and I still find myself using the hell out of these big ones. Okay, so don't think that these are cheaper at $8 or $10. This is a lot cheaper than buying one that's this big and paying $4 for it at the market. Okay, so do your research and you'll see what I mean. I get these on Amazon. They're easy. They come to your door. So you keep the basics. Your salt and your pepper, obviously, but you also keep other basics like onions and garlic and parsley and oregano, and then there's the stuff that you want to try that you're going to say, wow, this is pre-made and this is fantastic. This stuff right here, I've been eating this for years. Okay, this is fantastic for blackening. You can make this for blackened shrimp, blackened catfish. It's amazing. All right, it's nice and peppery. It's got a good bite to it. All right. So over here, we've talked about this one before. This is amazing stuff. This is like, oh, I love you. That's how good that is. Okay. And there's others, like this that you might not know about. This is called Japanese 7 spice. Okay. And let me read it off to you so you have an idea. It is red pepper, orange peel, black sesame seed, Szechuan pepper, nori flakes, ginger, chili pepper, and ancho chilies. Okay, so this is spicy, but notice how there's no salt in here. So the way that I use this is, I love this on roasted chicken. I'll baste the hell out of a chicken with this, and I'll rub it on there, give it some good love, and then I'll sprinkle some salt. The more you add of this, the spicier it's going to get. So it starts out spicy. So if you have a soft palate, try for 1 whole chicken, try a tablespoon. That should be plenty for the entire chicken. Okay, and then sprinkle it with salt and roast that bad boy in the oven. This is amazing stuff, and that's just one use. There's 100 other uses for it. Okay, so you probably already know about chili powder. This is like onion and garlic these days, mustard powder. You gotta have it, okay? Chili powder is a must in the kitchen. You pick your brand, okay? Just the one that you like. You gotta have Italian seasoning, all right? Because you're making meatballs. You make a spicy meatball. You want the Italian seasoning, okay? Good stuff. Taco seasoning. Look at this. I'm a chef. I can mix all this if I wanted to. Well, why the hell would I want to do that? If they make it good. You know what I mean? Look at this. This is McCormick taco seasoning. This is yummy stuff. Put a little bit of this between your cheek and gum. It's good stuff. I use this particular McCormick Cajun seasoning right here. I use this one in my jambalaya. Okay? This is really good stuff. Okay, you cannot go wrong with this. Okay. And I'm telling you, this is stuff that you buy that's already made, that you're not making. Yeah? We've talked about this one, okay? This is a taste of South Florida right here, all right? If you season beef or pork or chicken or fish, literally potato salad, this stuff, you know, you can mix it with the tuna and mayo and put that in your bread. This is amazing stuff. You can't go wrong with it, okay? You can't. This one over here, same thing. You cannot go wrong with it. Taste of South Florida, right here, okay? This right here is called gumbo filet. Now, gumbo filet is one thing and one thing only. This is ground sassafras leaves, okay? And this is the flavor and thickening agent when you're making gumbo. Why do I have this here? Well, because I love gumbo. I love Cajun food. And you gotta have this in there. This is really, really good stuff, okay? Montreal steak seasoning. You get this at the store. It's excellent, okay? And then we have over here ground sumac. This is Middle Eastern, all right? And here, let's see what we got here. Sumac is such an exciting new addition to the culinary world. A beautiful colored spice wakes up any meal. And it is, it's really nice. It has a nice citrus flavor. It can overpower, okay? So go light with this, you know, mix, taste, and then go forward. Over here, so what the hell? All those little balls. So this is called pickling spice, okay? So not just for making pickles, okay? So we're going to have an extensive video on eggs because eggs is something that's been driving me nuts for a while. But your egg should taste like the water you're poaching it in. You add some of this pickling spice into that water, it makes your egg taste phenomenal. Okay, so this has much, much, much more than one specific use. Okay, so the rest of it is actually onions and garlic and black pepper, and this is red pepper flakes. You know, we have over here, we have herbe de Provence. Oh my God, we almost skipped this guy. So this is French, guys. All right? There's no salt in this either. All right? Now, this is phenomenal for soup, for roasted chicken, roasted lamb. This is excellent if you're having like a rump roast, like a roast beef type of meal. You can marinate it in this for a day, and this is amazing stuff. You know, and all you do is rub it with some olive oil and some garlic and a good amount of salt. And this is oh, I don't know, where have you been all my life? That's what this is. Okay. So essentially, that's pretty much it. The rest of it is stuff that you should be keeping. For example, over here we have celery seed, we have mustard, we have paprika, we have cilantro and parsley and basil and oregano. We have Italian black pepper, we have onions and garlic. Yeah, we went through it all. This is ground thyme. Over here is cumin. Oh, here we go. Cumin. Let's talk a little bit about cumin, all right? So, when you are cooking with cumin, okay, and the proper word for this is comino. It's a Spanish word. So, when you're working with this, think that if you have this much seasoning, okay, you're going to go with half of one of these spoonfuls. Okay? So if you have this much seasoning, all right? You have that much seasoning that you're putting onto your chicken or whatever, Well, then you're going to go here, and you're going to go that much of cumin. You're going to go really, really light on the cumin. All right? Now, that's your first attempt. You're going to taste it, and you're going to decide whether or not it's strong or not strong enough. Okay? Start easy. If you put too much of cumin, first, your house will smell like an underarm pit. Okay? You put too much of this stuff and it smells like underarm pit. So, go light. A little goes a long way. A lot, ooh, can ruin your day. Okay? So, that's the cumin. That's it, guys. I wanted to show you some of the spices that I work with here in the house, and you know, obviously when we were in the restaurants, there was a lot more spices, okay, because you know you're working with more items, but for your home, for what you're doing at home, for variety, because the secret here isn't that you have all these, oh my God, that's so much spices, what am I going to do with it? Well, you use a little pinch at a time, guys. This is for variety, so all your food doesn't taste like this every day of the week. That's why they make all this stuff, okay? So that you can have choices. Your chicken, you can have chicken 5 days a week, and none of the days it will taste the same. You know? So, if you have choices, use your choices. If you don't have a choice, make the choices with spices. You know? Change the dish. With spices, you can make the same dish 100,000 times different every time. So, you know, that's why I say you have to give this time, and you got to learn it. Okay? So, I encourage you to use the spices. I encourage you to go slow. They're not cheap, you know, $14, $9, you know, $12, $8, you know, $11.50. So they're not cheap, okay? So go slow, just to give you some numbers. So, and that's it. I hope you got something out of this. Remember, learn to cook, and you'll eat better for the rest of your life.